Welcome. We've got a little bit of a different setup, mostly because I am not in my home, but took a little trip, needed to get out. But good to see you. This week we are talking about Mark. We're still in the Gospel of Mark, right on from still in the first chapter, right directly after the baptism by John in the Jordan. And immediately, the Spirit, the dove, forced Jesus into the wilderness. He was there 40 days, tempted by the tempter. And he was among wild animals, and angels took care of him. After John was arrested, Jesus returned to the Galilee, announcing God's good news, gospel, and saying, "The time is now. God's empire is coming. Change your hearts, change your lives. Trust that this is good news." As he walked along the Sea of Galilee, he saw Simon and his brother Andrew throwing their fishing nets into the sea because they were fishermen. And he said to them, "Follow me, I'll show you how to fish for people." And immediately they dropped their nets and they followed him. Going a little further, he saw James and John, Zebedee's sons, in their boat repairing their fishing nets. And he called to them, and immediately they left Zebedee, their father, and his hired men in the boat, and they followed him too. Tomorrow is the inauguration, and honestly, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm thinking a lot about our country right now and how it's trying its hardest to become a failed state, mostly because we are refusing to see things as they are, refusing to see the enemy for who it is, which for most of our history has been white supremacy, white nationalism. What must it take to drop everything and follow someone like Jesus, who is changing the world, whose movement is about peace and justice, not social justice warrior things, but really the original SJW, Jesus, concerned about, as his Luke sermon tells us, letting the captive go free, liberation to the oppressed, recovery of sight to the blind, to proclaim the year of economic justice, of the Lord's favor. All these things are what Jesus stands for in the last 4 years, which has just been a symptom of the last many generations of subtle white supremacy through conservative forces. And now the church have hitched their wagon to a guy who used tear gas to hold up a Bible he had obviously never held in front of the church that had had a fire the day before. I think there's something about following Jesus, and I'm constantly trying to do that. I don't know how Simon and Andrew and James and John did it, but I hope for that kind of, for myself, I hope that I can also recognize when Jesus is calling me. Good to see you all. Take care of yourselves. See you again next week. God bless you, especially in this very, very tenuous